Are we starting?
We are, yeah.
Okay, we've started. Welcome back.
I can't do it.
I thought you were going to just say alrighty.
Oh, alrighty, guys. Welcome back to episode, what is it? 15 of the Unfunded podcast.
Are you meant to be pretending to be Lockie?
Yeah, I
did. Nothing like him at all.
No, because Lockie always goes, what episode is it?
Oh, yeah. Lockie,
we're up to episode 15, believe it or not.
I can't believe it. Lockie, how would you have introduced this episode?
That was so insulting. And I knew straight away. I knew you were trying to just diss me.
Well, you're the one that does the intros. So.
Poor Lockie,
honestly,
fresh out of bed. He's exhausted. Yeah. He's been training hard.
Just woken up.
Just woken up.
So that's not what I needed.
Yeah, we've had a full day here. So
we have. Yeah, we have. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you guys. Yeah, no, I'm just kick-started this day. You're the first people I've spoken to.
Oh, that's
lovely.
Nice.
That's great to hear.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh my God, that was sickening. That was so sickening. I loved it.
Fair enough.
I'm Leighton. This is...
Oh, yeah. I'm Sarah. I am Sarah, professional podcaster. Who are you, though, Leighton?
I'm Leighton. I'm professional triathlete.
Oh, you almost forgot.
And on the landline, we have...
Lockie Jones, professional triathlete.
Everybody's struggling right now. What's going on? What's new in your life, Leighton?
Leighton, you got to direct this.
Well, yeah, true.
Well, I've asked him the question. What's going on,
What's
mate?
going on? We're racing again this week.
Are you?
Off to Japan tomorrow. We're recording on Tuesday.
Yes.
But racing this week in Osaka around the castle.
And by we, you just mean you.
Me, yeah. I don't know why I always reference as we.
Our
mates are there as well. So our mates, so I say we. So I'll meet up with a few of the boys who are in China on the weekend. So I'll see them there in Japan, which will be pretty good.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Japan's the best.
It is cool.
I love Japan.
It's a really cool race. I mean, we'll get in.
Oh, I don't care about that. I was thinking more about the karaoke.
Oh, okay. Sushi.
No, I was thinking more. You're in Osaka, right? Isn't that right near Universal Studios?
Great party.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's right near Universal Studios, and they have a Harry Potter world there.
They do. I went last year.
Did you seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now we're talking about the things that I want to talk about. Harry Potter, it's epic. Lockie, have you been there before?
No, never. I can't really say that I went there to go to Harry Potter world.
No. You're not a Harry Potter fan? Is that what's going on?
I mean, I love Harry Potter. Huge Harry
thank
Potter
God
fan.
for that. I thought we were going to stop being friends for a second.
No, there for business, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, make sure you check it out again. Get some of that butter beer. That was good stuff.
Butter beer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did see that last time, actually. Yeah.
Sick.
What have you been up to, Sarah? Well, we'll start in the studio.
Yes, very exciting stuff, guys. So you told me last week that I was to extend my running, right? So I was going from 1 kilometre to 1.5 kilometres with a 2-minute rest in between, doing it 3 times.
Yep.
Totally effing did it. And
fuck yeah.
It felt good. Like, it felt fine. I was like so worried because every time I do the other run, I'm like, oh my God, like I get to the end of it and I'm like, ugh. But quit vapes. Haven't had a vape for 3 days now, so completely vape free and never having another one. I promise you.
I thought that we cut it last week.
No, so
I was about to say we've definitely recorded longer.
I know, and I said I was quitting. Okay, just shut up for a second. I was listening to this book, as I explained, Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Vaping, and they said, don't quit vaping, just keep carrying on vaping as per usual while you read or listen to this book. But I got 3/4 of the way through. The vape that I had basically run out, and when it runs out, it tastes awful.
Yep.
Really, really bad. And so I was like, look, I'm not going to buy another one, so I'll just quit now. So I haven't finished the book. I'm very close, but I decided to stop vaping. I just don't want that stress anymore. So that stopped, and I can tell you it has made a difference already with the running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I'm really excited.
That's good.
What do they say? It's like 10 days to build a habit, or it takes 10 days to build a habit.
Yeah, something like that. And
so
I had to change my mindset pretty hard because people think that vaping or smoking or nicotine brings you pleasure, but it just doesn't. It's actually just an addiction where the relief that you feel is just because you get a little bit more of a hit of nicotine. That's all it is. There's no pleasure involved. It's literally just an addiction.
Yeah.
It's been hard to get that.
It's like a little dopamine. I don't know whether it would be dopamine.
No, it is.
Is it dopamine?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
It is. That's why a lot of people...
I guess it's tricky. It's tricky when you've never had that, really. Like, I guess, like, it's hard to... think
relate.
About like relate what it could actually be like, because I don't know, I don't think I've ever had one and gone like, I could get addicted to this.
No, it's
I want it. I want on my
blueberry
bedside
eyes.
table. I want this first thing in the morning every morning.
It's weird. It's a very slow like decline. Yeah, like first vapes used to be teeny tiny little things, and then they've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more you have, the more your body has a resistance to it, so the more that you need. So like I went from smoking like one of those tiny vapes maybe once a week to like first thing when I get up, last thing when I go to sleep. Like it really snowballs, and I'm like, how did I even get this deep into it? You know, it blows my mind that I was able to get this far. So I sympathise with any people who have an addiction. It's a slippery slope, but it's never too late. That's what's really cool, and I'm learning now.
Do you think it would have been different if it was like a cigarette where it kind of doesn't taste or smell appealing at all?
Yeah, big time. See, I used to be a smoker, and then I quit that, and I quit for 3 months, and then I started vaping because vaping's a lot easier because you get to choose your flavor. Yeah. You can do it indoors. There's no smell.
It doesn't stink like it would.
Yeah, it's actually super addictive, and they target it towards young people, right? With all the fun-looking colours and the flavours, and choose your own.
McDonald's, as they say.
It's freaky. It's scary, and it's a trap. Yeah.
Well, I used to see even a lot of the older boys on the job site back in the day. It was funny because you'd obviously have like back when I was working construction, you'd have a mixture of like the young boys and the old boys, and even the old boys were falling into the trap of like they were losing the ciggies because they saw the young boys on the vapes, and they were like, oh, that's not running out. I don't have to light that. I can just literally whip it out of my pocket, like have a puff and then put it back in, save it for later. So then all of a sudden you started seeing like some of the older, rougher looking boys like pulling out their like fluoro pink vapes. It's like they just didn't care in the end. They were like, oh, this is pretty convenient. It's like, wow.
And
that's I don't know,
scary.
Wild transition.
It's scary as well because like it is targeted towards young people, so a lot of young people are doing it, and then older people will look at the young people and be like, oh well, young people are doing it and it's cool and trendy and like makes me look young, so they might pick it up on a case of that as well. In the same way that back in the 60s or 70s they get people smoking on TV.
Yeah, young kids were probably smoking. Yeah,
it's actually it's a complete trap, brainwashing, and it's a big pharma, big tobacco. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, the enterprise of the world.
What did I see though? I was looking at our Instagram and I saw there was a guy who commented on the vaping reel that we put out, and he said something about one of the triathletes being sponsored by a nicotine product.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That was a surprise to me.
Yeah, I wrote back and I was like, please tell me more. And, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I didn't know that. Well, because I thought I can't see why, as an athlete, like, would you want to be sponsored by a company like that, or like, I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, like he was sponsored by a nicotine pouch company.
Yeah,
and he actually commented on the post and he said, I would never like ingest nicotine through my lungs because that's obviously. You need a cardiovascular system for triathlon.
Yeah. But maybe, but
I'm pretty sure that there are some kind of benefits. Like you hear Joe Rogan and all those guys go, nicotine like for brain power and brain function. Yeah. I think there might be some kind of merit to that.
Look, it does.
A couple of studies on mice and stuff.
Those nicotine patches. Those nicotine patches are wild.
It does speed up. It speeds up your metabolism. Awful. It does speed up your metabolism. It does, but like it's highly addictive. So like you're always going to be wanting going back. And one of the only ways that you can get nicotine is from smoking. But I'm just having a look now at the comments.
But
it's free pouch for athletes using nicotine over vaping.
Yeah, I thought it was weird, kind of. agreement, like some nicotine pouch, but then also like we don't know this athlete, but he's actually racing the T100 in San Francisco in 2 weeks' time. So he's quite good.
Yeah.
He's not
What's his name?
American.
His name is Justin Reel. Justin Reel, if you're listening, and you probably are because you're commenting on our socials, the Unfunded Pod. Hit us up. Slide into our DMs. We want to hear more.
Yeah, what you actually use nicotine for.
Yeah.
Like, do you use it day-to-day training?
But at the same time, we don't want to promote it. Do we want to promote this? We don't want to promote this.
Not really, but it's quite interesting.
We have seen heaps. Like, there was heaps of triathlon. I remember, like, there was heaps of triathletes at one point, and I know a lot of cyclists use it as well. And they go out for like their long rides, or they would go out for rides with nicotine pouches up in their gums.
Wow.
And it's actually quite rife. So if you've heard of the snus, the nicotine pouch, it actually originated, and where it became really big was in the EPL, the soccer leagues in Europe. All the soccer players were using these nicotine pouches. And I don't know whether it was for performance or for stress.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't go out and, obviously these days these football players have so much media and they can't go out and have a couple of drinks and whatever. So I think the stress, especially when they were young, it kind of came in as a bit of a stress reliever. And they've been playing on these nicotine pouches. And apparently it's rife within like the European soccer leagues.
I don't know if there's any.
I think it's also just rife within Europe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they love all their vapes and their smokes and whatever.
Yeah. They say some places still legal indoors.
Yeah, you see some pouches like on the floor out here. Like, it's just like they love it.
Fascinating.
But
I'd love to learn more. Yeah.
Maybe we can get a deep dive from old mate
Justin.
Justin, about why you might use your nicotine pouches.
That's right.
When do you use them?
Start selling them. Also, give us some money.
Surely he doesn't have them in his back pocket like during a race. He like shoves a couple up his gum. He's like on the TT.
Makes the race go pretty quick.
Yeah, he's just like spaced out on this nicotine. Yeah.
I don't know. It would be fascinating to find out.
Real relaxed. He won't ever cramp. He's not tight. He's like,
I'm trying to quit vaping, guys. I'm trying to quit here. That's like...
Yeah. Not just move on to the next one.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly right. Well, Lockie, how are you doing? What's going on in Cardiff?
It's freezing still. Yeah. Annoyingly, it is still freezing. But no, just honestly, it's kind of that... it's going to be the next, I guess, like 5 or 6 weeks where I'm not really going to have anything exciting to tell because all we do here is train. Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of just... here for business, you lock in for 6 weeks and you just train. So I had like an easy week last week just to recover from the all the flying and get used to the new time zone and recover a bit from 2 weeks of racing. And now I've had my debrief with my coach. We know what to do. So now we're just training for the next 6 weeks.
Do you train every day?
Yeah, like yesterday was just over 5 hours of training. Like, we swim, ran and rode. Today I think I got 4 sessions to do, so that'll be, we start swimming at 7:30. I'll be riding my bike at like 5 o'clock the Savo. So yeah, every day. Usually about 5-6 hours of training on the weekdays and then a couple less on the weekends. So. Ugh. Yeah.
Sounds horrible. Don't want
We're in a big... I'm probably going to get progressively tired. Yeah, I know. I actually become really sensible when I'm over here.
Yeah, good boy. Not us. I just realised I've still got my candy on the table here. That's because I've replaced my nicotine with sugar.
Carbs are king.
That's going to pop those down. Oh, good on you, Lockie. All right. So that means you're available.
It means I'm available.
Yeah, like every week to do the podcast, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I make my alarm, I set my alarm for 5 o'clock this morning and I was like, yeah, all right, I'll get up. And then all of a sudden you do those like doze back to sleep and then you look at your phone and then it's 15 minutes later. And I was like, fuck. I'm running down the stairs, like quickly making my breakfast, getting online.
Not after last week's fiasco.
Luckily, we weren't 45 minutes late this time, which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would have just been like, all right, guys, next week.
Just given up. Would have just cancelled the podcast forever if that had happened again.
Cancel the pod for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But while I was here, pretty exciting.
Go on.
I called the. Oh, sorry. You think I'm actually going to say something exciting? I was just moving on to. We called Matty House's win here.
Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That was big from both of us, and we tied actually.
I know. See, I did get confused though, because I was almost going to say you're wearing the tri-suit, but then I forgot that when you said Berger, you were putting him second and Koenig's third.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, as if I've won this. He put Berger to win. But
no, you didn't. You put Matty Hauser.
I put Hauser in first.
That's right. So you got.
You couldn't not.
I didn't even think about that. Neither of you guys in tri-suit.
We tied. We both called
first
Beth
time
Potter.
we tied.
Don't you think technically that you should both be in the tri-suit then?
Nah, we agreed.
Well, no.
Is that what you did? I bet you did.
I think we could do it. We could have done a count back of who was closest, because I did put Vasco in third and he got second.
But then I also put Lisa Tersch in third. And
she did come third.
Here we go.
So,
and you're not even in the same area, so you can't fight to see who would win.
We're fighting online.
Yeah.
I don't think Lane wouldn't want to fight me.
You know who's won. Remember that time in Boston?
Oh,
yeah, when I literally dragged you into the back seat and he still reckons he won somehow.
Okay, stop. Tell me what happened. You guys
No, we're not going into this. We're not going into this.
That's a slippery slope.
Oh,
that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery. We don't have time for that.
Okay, so you had a little tiff once. Okay, we're going to circle back to this in a future episode, okay? Because I'm not letting it go.
Boys will be boys,
okay.
Boys will be boys.
But yeah, I reckon huge from Hauser. I think we got to really give Hauser kudos for that. Like, he looked so comfortable. Like, second out of the water, controlled the bike at the start. As soon as he got off the bike, he was dominant in the first part of the run. He just looked like he was doing it easy. Like, I don't know, but I kind of looked at him 2 laps in and just thought, like, there was no doubt in my mind that Hauser was going to win that after the second lap. He just didn't look like he was under pressure at all, which I thought is so scary, because he's such a whole athlete.
Yeah, I kind of actually, admittedly, went to sleep because I saw it kind of come together on the bike, and I was like, oh, well, Hauser's got this.
You were like, I'm done.
And had a bit of a snooze, and then woke back up and ran for the win, and I was like, yeah, sweet.
Cool.
I mean, respect to Vasco. Vasco gave it everything to beat him. Like, it was closer than what it probably could have been. Hauser could have just run away, but Vasco really did give it to him, which was cool. But yeah, I think, especially when you get into the last sprint finish, you're not beating Hauser.
Yeah,
he's just too fast.
He said in one of his interviews. He kind of said, I was just thinking in my head, these boys can't out sprint me, so I've got this.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, like I said, Vasco was close, but I think Howes knows that he's just too quick over that last little bit.
Yeah, it was, and over an Olympic distance, which I actually thought that Yokohama for some reason was a sprint this year.
So did I.
Yeah,
like from the course maps, it gave the impression it was a sprint.
Unless we looked at the paras.
Yeah.
So yeah, over an Olympic distance as well. In the women, John Lahair. I mean, I talked her up. Yeah, last few races, I had her kind of in and around the mark, but she wasn't quite.
As soon as you didn't pick her.
She's always sat there, kind of on the start list, and go, "Oh,
she's always fourth.
She could be there. But then it's like, she isn't. Then the one week you don't pick her, she comes and wins.
She was kind of the roughie in the end. Is that what you guys call it?
She was the roughie. Probably was the roughie for the girls.
Wow.
Yeah, and she won it, which is impressive. And Beth Potter in second, which, I mean, we thought she was going to run well. Yeah. And then Lisa Tersch. Did you have a
good for me?
Go on.
Sorry. Well, I think because Lisa Tersch keeps doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure I've got her pretty high up there on the overall World Series.
Yeah,
so
I think my one's done, to be honest. In the men's, at least. And in the women's.
Gwen Jorgensen,
she came fourth on the weekend.
Not Gwen Jorgensen again.
She was finally. I mean, no, she was finally up there. Like, you can talk about her now because she's up there.
Maybe it was just the first World Series race.
Maybe it's the commentator has done this because he's talked about her so much that she's like, well, fuck, I better live up to it. Go faster.
Probably. Because yeah, I mean, I did see it and think, okay, well, that's fine. She is good. Yeah. But
it was a bold prediction. Anyway, we'll come back to the series as we go along the year. The one thing that I did see from Yokohama, which gave me a big chuckle.
This is funny. This is funny.
Morgan Pearson, the villain of the world triathlon scene, I feel, at the moment now. He's really playing into it.
Why is he the villain?
We commented on him as well.
Was it, is this the American
you
guy?
guys probably didn't. Yeah. You probably didn't see the comment that I put on World Triathlon.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What one?
I wasn't sure if I was going to get a message saying, don't say that.
Please explain.
They have this interview going, and Morgan Pearson's in there, like, just doesn't want to be there. And what did you say, Lockie?
Oh, I commented and I think I tagged Morgan Pearson. Oh, this is on the Unfunded account, by the way.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
You told me to do more commenting on the Unfunded account, so I did.
True.
Anyway, I went onto it and I basically said, Morgan Pearson looks like a guy that hates to have fun. he just looked so miserable. See there, I was like, wow, this guy hates fun.
He won last year, so he's obviously obligated to do the media and whatever. Anyway, he's running out, so that was funny. He just didn't want to be there. He's running out for they do all the athlete introductions.
Yeah.
And there's a little row of kids, and they're all giving high fives. These nice little Japanese kids giving high fives, real courteous. And he high fives a couple, and then he does the big.
No,
he went to high five and he goes.
Oh, he went to shake the hand and then put it behind his ear, to put his hair back like the snob.
Yeah.
To make it worse.
Yeah, he snobbed them.
You snobbed a Japanese child. Stop it.
To make it worse, there was a nice little Japanese child in a wheelchair on the very end who he snobbed as well.
No, see, everybody was snobbing that little one. No, everybody was snobbing that one. I was watching the stream going like, oh my God, they're all missing her. I was like, because she was in the wheelchair, so she was like, she was a bit further back and she was lower. So everyone was like high and they were just missing her and she was just there like,
oh my God.
Watching him go, and I was there like, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, that is so sad. She's just like, she's down there. She's like, can't reach him. I was like, oh.
Except for Morgan Pearson,
Morgan
who probably did this on
them.
He basically just went, you. Gotcha.
I mean, I did think that was quite funny. Apparently he's done it a couple times before. But at least he's spicing it up a bit.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like him, Lockie.
No, but he's playing the villain. He's playing it.
Wasn't he the American that you said was very annoying in his videos?
No, that's Sam Long.
Oh, that's Sam Long.
No,
my bad.
No, I can respect. No, Sam Long is annoying. I don't mind Morgan. Morgan, there's some things that he does where I'm like, oh, it's a bit weird, but like,
yeah,
I love overall.
He's all right.
I love how we've just got a platform just to rip on people in triathlon. I don't know them at all. And I'm still just there ripping on them.
See, we don't know them. Personally,
I actually got nervous because obviously, like, we've spoken a bit of shit about like some federations before and some countries, and then it was when we obviously ripped on the Russians a lot, and then I'm sitting in Chengdu briefing and I see like the row of Russians like sitting in front of me and I'm there like, oh
shit.
They just look at you.
Really back. Well, I mean, I'm sure they haven't listened to the pod, but I'm like, I really hope you haven't listened to the pod.
They probably will one day.
I shit on you guys a lot.
That's hilarious. Someone send this out to the Russians. Let's see what happens. That'll be fun.
We'll have Vlad on to us. A little shout out for a couple of Australians I think we should go into in the weekend. So we obviously had Hauser racing at WTCS level, but there was a race in China on the weekend, Ling Yang, which a few guys from...
Well said.
Was that actually all right?
Nah.
What was it?
Because I think you missed a whole syllable.
Oh.
I think there's a young in the middle. It's like Ling Yang Yang.
Oh, I don't know.
That's how Where is it? Let me see it.
Somewhere in China.
No, you haven't got it written down.
Yeah.
You're screwed then.
Ling Yang Yang.
Yeah, so a couple went from Chengdu to China, and a few of the guys that we know flew over from here to China. Brad Course came second. And Tara Szynski also came second, both from the Gold Coast. So that was quite impressive, I thought, in China. Just a little shout out
It's a tough
to
course, that one,
a couple
too.
of Australians.
That's a tough course, that one.
There's a what? Tough course?
Yeah. It's a tough course. Yeah, it's basically, I think they climb like 600 meters elevation in the 40Ks, like lots of hills.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
it looked really cool. It was actually live streamed. And it pretty much just went around, let's imagine Burleigh Headland.
Yeah, it's like
a
basically
headland like that, but a lot bigger, and it was really mountainous kind of, and they're going around near the ocean, like all kind of ocean view the whole way. Looked really cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they had the motos and everything, so yeah.
I hear China is like really aesthetically beautiful country. Like you might not think that. You think cities, but it's stunning. I hear.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. In terms of that, yeah, it's very. I think most of them are like a lot of those because they're really well looked after. So like they like the gardens and everything, anything nature. It's same as Japan. Everything's just looked after. It's like next pride. Level. Like they really, it's almost like they're giving back to the land or something. Like that is their pride.
That'd be nice.
Then their cities are gross. Their cities are pretty gross.
Cities are gross, yeah.
If you go in the bathroom or the pool with them, like they're a bit gross.
Yeah. The old drop toilets, gotta love them.
Oh yeah.
At least they're. Oh yeah, it's awful. Before the race, you go to do a nervous poo and you go to a squat. It's like, are you kidding?
That was me last year in Osaka. Actually, I'm like nervous, ready to go race, and the guts are moving, and they have a row of porta potties.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we've got like a fair few Westerners here, porta potties. And there's a massive crowd. I'm thinking, a normal toilet.
There might be one, yeah.
And for some very advanced toilets, you have those electronic robot toilets and whatever. But then I walk into these, and it's a drop. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Like a drop, like a squat?
Yeah,
you mean
squat one.
But have you actually ever used one for real? Like,
nah, I wouldn't dare.
Are you serious?
Nah.
Have you, Lucky?
I'm like tri-suit on. It's,
okay, tri-suit, a bit different. You'd have to get naked. But I promise you, actually using a squat toilet properly, mate, it's one of the best shits of your life.
Apparently, it's one of the better ways to do it. It's the best function.
It's the correct positioning for your body to fully vacate. If I can say that.
Yeah,
I actually
it's just a slipstream bang straight down.
Yeah, straight out.
Straight pipe.
Wow.
Wow. We're getting into some interesting shit.
All right, this is really different to the topic that we're meant to be.
Back to it.
Well, that was shout out to a couple of Australian athletes doing some good things.
Cool.
Carrying the flag.
Yeah, exactly right. Big week for Australia. Go Australia. On to the main topic of the week. And we talked about this briefly with Emma Jeffcoat. We've been wanting to do this for a little while. And I feel as if some of the young whippersnappers in the sport are forgotten about. And kind of the challenges that they face. Pardon?
Yeah. I think pretty quickly forgotten about as well. And I think obviously this is something that hits for us. We're in this position. We're definitely, we're part of this cohort that, imagine if it happened to us. It's like... Yeah,
it's not really known or seen. Where if it's an established professional, you kind of see it in the media a lot more, don't you? Let's say if, you see Hayden Wild crashing and that's all in the media, it's like it's a very big thing that's talked about. But then you also, if one of us, God forbid, crash, you wouldn't hear a thing. So, I mean, obviously there's different challenges that everyone faces. They all face the same kind of challenge within the sport, just at various levels within it.
So what's the controversy? They're retiring early? Is that what you're saying?
So young athletes...
So I guess it's, young athletes being forced to medically retire. I think it's and it's something that I think is becoming increasingly common. I think you're starting to see it more and more, and I don't know whether that's because they're bringing in more and more protocols to be testing. We have to get ECGs and we have to get heart examinations done every year or every 2 years now. So now that that's becoming, more prevalent in the sport, it's almost picking up on a lot more things. So you are seeing a lot of young athletes being told that, you've actually got an underlying heart condition, or the excessive training that you're doing is actually causing something more severe. So, you are forced to medically retire. Like then that's only just one. There's also like excessive bone injuries as well, which we see them all the time.
And with you referring to Emma Jethcoat, are you referring then to her multiple fractures and the fact that she lost funding over it?
Not necessarily, just more in general of why.
Well, she had red S as well.
Yeah, exactly. Why are young athletes in the sport retiring so early from these medical conditions and different things? Like, is it due to realistically the fact of poor pathways going from a junior into senior racing, where you have to step up from a junior race, which is completely different to racing an under 23 elite race, which is combined? It's two very different demands of competition, and from
Huge
that
setup.
changes how you're training. You're racing against guys now that when you're 19, you might be doing 20 to 22 hours a week. Probably, I would say that's around the upper limit of, or 25 probably is the max that anyone's doing at 19. Then you have guys that have been doing those hours at least and more for 5+ years, and you're going to go race against them as soon as you turn 20. So it's a big jump up from a junior level to an under 23 and elite level, which I guess adds different stresses and then also stress on your body.
Yeah. And are these people being forced to medically retire, or they're making that decision themselves, or is it a bit of both?
There's actually a mixture. So like, I'll give you an example, and like we spoke about this before, and I think there's 3 athletes for me that sort of come to mind, and all 3 of them have basically retired. One of them retired on their own merit. 2 of them were given medical advice to retire, but there was Lorcan Redmond, who, fellow Australian, he's a good mate of ours. Lorcan Redmond was runner-up in Junior World Championships whenever that was.
2019.
He had to retire because 2019. He had two stress fractures in 2 different vertebrae. So usually you get them in your femur, or you get them in you get them somewhere in your legs. Like a lot of people get stressies there. He had them in his like back. So it's like when you're literally breaking your back and like getting stress fractures in vertebrae, like that's pretty wild. And I respect his decision, because obviously he was such a young talent and he could have done so much with the sport, but he essentially said, this isn't worth, being able to play with my kids when they're growing up. Like, this isn't worth breaking myself to the point that I can't physically do things later on in my life. So it was his own decision, and he left the sport. Again, what could have been with Lorcan Redmond, like who knows, because he was an incredible talent. You got Simon Henseleit, who was in 2023. He won the under 23 World Championships. So he was a world champion there, consistently racing on the World Series. He had, I read it was like aortic valve failure. So he was medically advised to retire from the sport. And then you had Nick Estrada, who's an Italian. He was a junior world medalist as well. And he had abnormalities in his heart track. So another one that was told to medically retire by medical staff. So you got 3 people who have world championship medals to their names as junior and under 23 athletes being told to, or having to decide that, my health is more important than the sport and I have to leave. That could be from, like we said, that could be from system pressures. That could be from, we've spoken about this before. The amount that we train isn't actually healthy. Like, people think that sport, health, well-being is good for you. Yes, it is, until you take it to the elite level. Like, the amount we train is just not good for you. Like, it's not. I mean, it makes you a good athlete, but it can't be good for your health. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
It doesn't lengthen your life or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
No way.
So you're throwing around some theories as to why this might be the case?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Lockie?
Well, there's just so many as well, and they all kind of like do tend to, like, when you've got, obviously, like Emma said, Emma had like the system pressures, and she had pressures of people telling her that she had to be a certain size or look a different way, and that obviously led to her not eating enough, and that obviously led to, her having some, like, from what it sounds like, some pretty severe red S, and like obviously was caused by underfueling, and there was a hormone deficiency, and you've got bone density loss with that, which then led to multiple stress fractures, which is, that's pretty scary that an athlete, she was new to the sport, such a young athlete's having to go through that. So, you could have something like that, or you could just have the fact that we're straining our cardiovascular system every single day, like for copious amounts of hours.
Do you guys think that training these days, you go a lot harder than you did maybe 5 or 10 years ago, or is it really the same?
Oh,
like I know it's hard for you guys to say, but like, any ideas?
I think that it's changed dramatically in the way that we train. I feel as if 10, 15 years ago, they were just smashing themselves day in, day out. They're doing hard. I think now it's a bit more, and we talked about like the periodization of training, how we train. Like I have kind of 4 intensity sessions. Lockie has, let's say 2. That's what I can remember. So that's a lot less, I guess, intensity. But over the time that you train, like Lockie just said, he's had 5 hours yesterday. That's not healthy.
That's a lot.
And your heart builds up. Obviously, a lot of these conditions are heart-related problems, which makes me believe, is it potentially the recovery that isn't there? Like you look at other sports like surf life saving, we've talked about this a lot, but they don't train on a Sunday. They have a rest day. It's kind of foreign for a sport not to have a rest day, especially in triathlon. You don't hear anyone really have a whole day off, do you?
Well, it's crazy that we would consider like a rest day, like, I just do a long run. Like I only run a half marathon. Like that's all I do.
That's crazy. I did a bit of research on
rest day.
I did a research on blue zones. Those places where people live like very long lives.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like a rest day absolutely is essential, but also like very natural movement. So like getting up and down off the floor or like walking. So like running and stuff, and going too hard or being stressed a lot will take years off your life.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
sorry. You go.
Oh no, you go, Lockie.
Well, you even look at like if you're talking in terms of stress as well, it's like there's the physical stress, but I think even like the emotional stress of the support. Like we're going into races, and like anybody's nervous going into a race. Like how is that nerve? How does those nerves and that stress actually that's taking a toll. Like that takes a serious toll if you're under that much stress. And again, like we've spoken about it before, like system pressures, we're trying to, we're all trying to impress the federation, or we're trying to we've got sponsors, we've got pressure back home, or
it's a competition in the end,
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's a job as well. So like when your job is literally like, if you don't win, you're not succeeding. Again, it's not like you're employed by somewhere and you're getting a weekly paycheck. It's like, no, we don't get paid until we perform. You're paid based on performance sport. So we're not signing those big career contracts.
Yeah. I feel as if as well, the snowball, and we're talking about juniors here and younger athletes, pretty much under the age of 23. It snowballs very quickly, as we've kind of said, like how we got into it. It starts off very innocent, and then you kind of get to about 16 and 17, and then you start hearing about junior world champs, and then that kind of obviously progresses as goals and whatever. And by the time you're 18, you've left school, it's pretty much everyone's turned, they've got their professional license, they're racing professionally for money. It becomes essentially a job at 18, let's say, and it kind of just builds and builds and builds. But it started off very innocent. I feel as if there probably isn't that awareness or that education of the jump between being very innocent in its preliminary stages to then going, bang, this is what it is. This is how it actually works.
Let's go. Yeah.
I feel as if, and that comes, I reckon, as well down to the nutrition. Why do you see so many bone stress injuries? It comes from like that red S, the nutrition. It starts off very slow, but there's probably not that education in that little, between 16 even, say 16 to 20, where that's that very developmental period of someone's career that can make or break them. And unfortunately, some of these guys have gone way too hard and it's broken them, or haven't had that kind of nurturing, let's say, or unfortunately they might have the awareness of a heart condition that they didn't have to get heart checks at 16, but now they're racing World Series at 19. They have to get all these heart protocols.
Yeah, so there's a massive lack of information and education.
That's what I would put it down to, unfortunately, some of these guys.
And I think because they are, like, especially, like, you even look at, like, obviously I can only really talk about Oz Tri, but, like, there's such investment in young talent, like, they want to see, like, the best young talent, like, coming up now. They want to see, like, who's good at 14, 15, 16, so we can invest in them. So I think, like, as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, you're almost, like, losing the enjoyment pretty early, because these federations, and obviously you look at the federation, and I remember when we were younger, we're like, oh, triathlon, like, that's Triathlon Australia, they're the big dogs, like, you know, they're the ones you want to impress, you want their attention. So if you're getting their attention from such an early age, it's like, yeah, you're great, you're obviously an awesome athlete, but you are losing out on the enjoyment of just doing the sport for fun, doing it with your friends. It's like, it's becoming way too serious, way too early. And then that is leading to, like, I think we can both look at all the athletes that were once in our age group when we were school kids. It's like,
how many
the really
left?
Good ones aren't around anymore. Yeah. Like, the really good ones aren't around anymore.
Too stressful.
I was racing Lorcan Redmond. He was the best. He was one of the best in the world at one point, and he's just broken himself, ran himself into the ground.
A lot of pressure.
And they leave hating the sport, hating the system. So, I don't know. There definitely, like you said, there definitely needs to be more education around that as a young athlete, because otherwise we're just having to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is also probably a combination of, like, they're checking for a lot more things now. They're doing more thorough testing, and so they can find these things early. Plus they're also being more careful. So they're like, if you've got a little bit of a stress, fracture or whatever, it could turn into a bigger one. So let's get you out now, because they know that there's just so many people coming through who are keen to get involved with this, and you catch them young, you've got them for life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it sometimes feels like they're just sort of throwing eggs at the wall and hoping it sticks. It's like, oh, like, you could be a good one, or and like, I think you've seen it with a couple people. It's like, oh, you broke, oh, you're out. Okay, like, see you later. We'll
rinse and repeat. Yeah.
There's no real, like, oh, okay, you're sick or you're injured or you're not enjoying it. Let's figure out why, bring you back in, nurture you, educate you a bit more, and then, like, hopefully let you flourish. Like, again, Oscar Dart's another one that he just retired. He retired on his own merit. It wasn't anything like medically, but he probably wasn't performing as well as what he wanted to these last few years. But man, like, he was an Australian champion. I'm pretty sure he was a youth champion.
Youth,
like,
junior,
at one point,
under 23.
He was phenomenal. He was one of the best athletes we had coming up. Like he hadn't been able to convert that into the international stage, but, like, why not? Let's figure out why he couldn't. Let's figure out how we can help him be better and use his potential. And could have been who knows what. Not just, oh, you want to retire? Okay, thanks for everything. See you later.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be some more support around
education
that. Like,
and
Lorcan
support.
Redmond walked away, and I don't think they tried to convince him to stay. Matt Roberts as well. Like, the list goes on.
Do you think maybe then there is too much pressure on those younger developmental years on racing, like, a world stage as juniors and let's just say juniors, because let's say we see a junior in Australia racing, they start racing in December, and there's no junior worlds until, when is it? October? So that's a long stint of, most people have a little rest in the middle, but that's a long stint to kind of keep going. Where should it be looked at as, okay, maybe we just kind of scrap that and we keep just one section and make sure that there's maybe more rest, or we don't have to have them going racing elite. I mean, it's all for experience, but then once you start racing elite, you're racing elite. I mean, you're racing guys training 30 hours a week. How are you going to be competitive at that? It's only one way. Train 30 hours a week.
And Oztri is just tracking along. It's just going along, isn't it? I mean, and making shitloads of money. So
I
mean, that's
like,
just
it's a
general
business.
in anything.
I think like they need to be more careful in terms of and this is something that I think like I'll toot his own horn, like my coach does very well in terms of not allowing you to race a standard that you're not ready for. You know, like I think a lot of people, they'll go race a World Cup just because they have policy or they have qualification, and they can. So they'll go race all the World Cups, but they'll get smoked and come 30th, and they'll be shocking. They're racing at a level they're not necessarily ready for. Same with World Series. There was like quite a long time where I believe that there was a lot of Aussies racing World Series every single weekend that they just shouldn't have been. Like if you're not good enough and you're not at a standard, you're not at that standard. And I think that needs to be emphasized more so for the younger athletes, for the juniors and the under 23s. Like, don't rush the process to think I have to be racing this level, because like you said, they're elite, they're men and women that you're racing with, and men and women that have, you know, they're not just fresh out of school, this is their job, and they are like, you know, crushingly fast, where it's like, wow. I remember doing my first World Cup thinking I will never be able to beat these guys. Like, I am so shit. Like they're just so good. Yeah. So I think being realistic with the talent that's coming up and saying like what you really should and shouldn't be doing right now, like, yeah, it's super important.
Yeah.
Obviously,
agree.
You're letting them have that taste every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
I
was going to say I agree to exposure, because I think that's the only way to develop these young juniors into guys or guys and girls, when I say guys, that aren't going to unfortunately break, like, let's say, a couple of these examples that were really, really promising. Exposure, but at the right time, which I think's getting done now. But yeah, I feel as if it's all a lot of pressure as a junior, which culminates into these things like the nutritional side, which then develops into the bone stresses and the hormonal imbalances, which it regulates a lot, and also the heart arrhythmias, which increase loading, increase pressure to kind of race at different levels. I think that's what it kind of comes down to, is nurture over, flogging yourself.
Yeah.
That's a little message to any juniors out there.
It's beautiful. Take care of yourself.
It's prioritizing. Like, prioritize your health, prioritize the education of the sport. Like, because, you know, like, I was always told, and I never really believed it until it's now evidently come true, that you just have to outlast everyone. And if you outlast people, like, you'll be good, because there's a lot of these guys that'll burn out, and at the time you never believe it. Like, you never believe your coaches who are saying it. You never believe the older guys that say it. Like, you always think, no, like, yeah, I want to be good now. And like, I'm like that as well. Like, I'm sure you're like that. We all want to be good. We all want
everyone wants to win.
Yeah, immediately.
I don't want to be good in 5 years, but like honestly, take it from experience, just the slow burn outlasts everyone, because people won't. There'll be a lot of people that won't be in the sport in 5 years.
Yeah, be patient with yourself and cut yourself some slack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Exactly. And alrighty, this week. Yeah, okay, got it.
This week we have some racing. There's a World Cup on. Because we've done tri-suits for World Cups. So we need to pick some winners. Lockie.
Oh wow, this is a pretty stacked start list, actually.
Who are you looking at
what
first?
What I've done these last couple of weeks is I've really just gone last minute, looked at the start list and picked based off gut feeling. So I'm not gonna break the mold. I'm gonna do that again, and I'm gonna go in first place. I think I'm gonna go Maxime Huber-Moosberger from France.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah. We're looking at
that's a funny name, but I'm gonna go Maxime Huber-Moosberger, and I'm gonna go him win, and then I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna go a French 1-2, Baptiste Pestamard in second, and then I'm gonna go Taylor Reid in third.
Okay. Well, I have Reece Veniston.
That's hard.
I have Reece Veniston in first again. I don't know if
it's gonna be a swim breakaway.
I'm going for a run, but then I'm chucking Taylor Reid in the end. I've got Ewan De Negro, the Italian, I believe. And then Taylor Reid in third. That's what I went gut feeling as well.
I got a question.
See,
I got a question. Who do you guys think is going to lose?
We're not doing that.
Probably. Oh no, there's a heap of Russians on there. Probably Russians.
Back to ripping the Russians before they hear us.
Fuck them. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Am I gonna talk about who's gonna win the girls or should win the girls? Because I feel like who's gonna win the girls
that's two different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Who's gonna win is the Russian Diana Isakova, because I'm pretty sure she just got like 4th or something.
Yeah.
But who should win?
Not her.
Anyone but her. Jesus.
Then second.
I'm gonna go. Oh well, then there's that other Russian who just won in Chengdu. So it's probably going to be a Russian 1-2. I'm gonna back my squad mate here, Tilly Anima from Great Britain. She just won a Conti Cup not long ago. Like she's on fire. So I'm gonna go Tilly Anima
in third.
My training squad. Yeah, I'll go her in third.
Sick.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Valentina Rasova, the Russian, just because she won in Chengdu. And then I'm going to go Jessica Fulgaard.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's a beast.
Then I'm going the German because I really think that Germany's doing some big things. Julia Brocker.
Germany are doing big things.
Third. That's our predictions.
Awesome. I love it.
Any Aussie girls? No Aussie girls.
No Aussie girls. It's a bit of a trek. There's only 2 Aussies racing over in Samarkand. It is Jack Crone and Toby Powers.
Good luck to those boys. A couple of youngsters hitting it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well,
that's
that. If you want to...
All right, Sarah.
Send
us.
I got this.
Do your job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shut up, Lockie, so I can do it. If you want to slide into our DMs, you got some info on nicotine because that was really fascinating. Anything else? Drop toilets. You've had a poop in one. It was really good. Send us a message. It's the Unfunded Pod on Instagram. We're also on TikTok. You can send us an email, theunfundedpodcast@gmail.com. And we're out on YouTube right now releasing the videos the same time as the audio. So if you're keen to see our faces, because we're very good looking, check it out on our YouTube channel, The Unfunded Podcast.
Cool. Very nice. Bye.
I like this. I'm not gonna have to do a fucking that shit photo you keep putting up of me now.
Oh yeah. You've got a camera now, you've got a microphone, everything's looking good, all the technical issues are smoothed away thanks to myself. So this will be a much better episode than last week, that's for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, all right.
Bye.
Alrighty.